Magic 107.7. It's John and Leslie here at the Arnold Palmer Hospital for Children. It's the Magic Cares for Kids Radiothon. You can reach us many, many ways. You can do it online. If you're at work, just go to magic107.com, keyword kids. You might also online, hopefully you're a friend of us on Facebook, and as we've been telling you, please tell all your friends on Facebook this is going on.
Right. If you're not a friend of us, friend us right now, either on the Magic Morning Show, or you can friend me, Leslie Gale. I'm updating the whole thing, and you can see all of our stories. Now, we have lots of different stories. First, let's give you the phone number so you have it, and you can call. And but we want you to listen to this story. We've meet all kinds of people every year. This is my 10th year, and then every year I hear a story that I've never heard before. This is one of them coming up. Our number is 1-888-543-9931.
Haley is with us now. Haley and her mom, Lisa. And Haley, I love your family already. You're my kind of family because they came in with it. You know how you can make a little tabletop book now in a number of different ways. And read them what this says here. I love that the family took this what could be a devastating thing, and they're like,
right.
They make this really cute thing out of it in this book.
It says, back on track after life throws you a curve. And curve is the operative word here, because this is really what happened to Haley.
It's idiopathic scoliosis, which everything was going along fine, and then all of a sudden, what started to happen?
Well, I went for my 7th grade checkup, and my doctor asked to do the test where you bend over and touch the floor. And she noticed that I had a curve in my back. So then she recommended me to go see another doctor about it in DeLand. And then from there on, they took an x-ray, and then they referred me to Arnold Palmer Hospital because they had noticed it was about 25 degrees from just the point it started at.
It was a very, very severe curve.
Mm-hmm.
It kept getting worse? Was that what happened?
It continued. What they first tried to do was they gave me a night brace, which you wore while you slept. And they do that to help prevent the curve from getting worse, because what the night brace does is it kind of like takes your back and like curves it back to normal, keeping it like preventing it from getting worse, pretty much.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But it did continue to get worse and get to a 60 degree?
Yeah, it got to about 59, 60 degrees, and it was an S curve, so I had 2 degrees. I had one at 59 degrees and one at 42 degrees.
Now, here you are, 13. Lisa, Mom is here. What now? I'm assuming right up until that point, Haley was just a regular kid, taking her in for her 7th grade checkup, and the next thing you know, she's a curvy Q, and she's got to come here. Mm-hmm. What was that like?
Well, it was a surprise when you went to the doctor's office for your normal 7th grade physical, a sports physical, because she's an athlete at school, and she bends over and does the Adams forward bend test, where they bend over and touch their toes, and they see this little hump, and they do a little measurement, and they said, yep, she has scoliosis.
What happened? I mean, you saw the doctors for a while, but how did you feel when they told you, okay, we're going to cut a big incision down her back, and we're going to do this really drastic surgery. Trust us on this.
Well, it was something that happened over a matter of a year or two. You know, we were gearing towards it. We knew that it was going to eventually have to happen, because we kept seeing that the curve kept progressing worse and worse, and we went through 2 braces with her, a day brace and a night brace, and they just weren't helping with correcting the curve, so she ended up having to have the surgery, and by that time Haley was ready to do it, and she knew that she had to do that. What was
the day? I just went through back surgery with my mother. It's a very, very hard thing. What was that day like?
Well, it was early morning. We had to get up at about 5 o'clock. So I was in the waiting room for about an hour, and then they took me back to the room and got me prepared. I was nervous at first, but I had a pillow I was like clutching, not letting go of. So it kind of comforted me a little bit. But the doctors came in, and they really talked to me about what was going to happen, because I wanted to know, you know. And it went really well, actually. I wasn't too nervous the day of, actually, surprisingly.
Was it painful?
Well, you're on so much pain medication. You don't really notice a lot of it, but it was pretty painful. To imagine having your back cut open, you're really, really sore.
Yeah, and eventually they don't give you those anymore.
Yeah, eventually they're giving you just the Tylenol, and then they're not giving you anything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have a Facebook page. What can you, are you trying to help other teens who might find themselves in your situation?
Actually, it's all around the world. I'm getting people from Scotland, Ireland, the U.S., and everybody just gives everyone support and helpful information. Like if they have a question, they just post it on the group, and I write back to it. Other people give their input and share their stories, and it's really amazing at all the people that go through this. You're not alone.
So, for all the other kids that are here in the hospital and everyone listening, what would you like to tell the listeners as far as supporting these kids?
I like to tell them to actually, if they have any questions, to go to the group and go and ask, because we're all here to help, and they're never alone in the situation, because it's really scary not knowing what you're going through and not having anybody to ask questions to. And then when you find somebody, it's a lot comforting knowing what's going to happen, where you're standing at, what you're going through.
What's the friend page? What's it called?
It's called A Teenager's Guide to Scoliosis.
Okay, it's A Teenager's Guide
On how to cope with scoliosis.
Oh, A Teenager's Guide on how to cope with scoliosis.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Just type that in, and it'll take you to your support group.
We're glad you're doing well. You're kind of, I mean, you're coming in.
Look how straight she sits
sitting up
right?
straight.
She's got a boyfriend here.
She's going to do whatever she wants in the future. Well, good for you, and hopefully that will continue to happen here with all the donations coming in. That they had what you needed, and they're going to have what all kids need when they come into Arnold Palmer Hospital for Children and Shands Children's Hospital up in Gainesville.
Let's get these phones ringing. It's 1-888-543-9931.
Pick up the phone now. Make whatever donation you can. Most people are calling in with that $15 monthly gift. We had an angel earlier with $1,000. We had another $500 donation. You know what you can do. The point is to do it and make sure that when something happens, and it can come out of the blue, that they're going to be here with what your kid needs. It's the Magic Cares for Kids Radiothon presented by Panera Bread over Orlando. Thanks for your calls. Again, 1-888-543-9931 is the number.